ceremony. My name is Bill Dean. I'm the president of the Alumni Association, and on behalf of the Alumni Association and Texas Tech University, we'd like to welcome recipients and their fans that are scattered all over the place. There's a logistics problem I want to deal with to start with because we have people that are standing. I'd like to ask each section of the ring recipients if you would just get up and move over and fill any empty seat on your right hand side. In each one of these, don't go across the aisle, just in each section, if you just get up and move over and fill in an empty seat on your right. Okay, now that will allow those people who are standing to find a seat. There are seats on the end of each one of these sections. Please come forward. Don't worry about walking in front of anybody. Just come forward. I had these students move so you could have a seat. And you're still standing over there. Okay. Once again, let me welcome you to the McKenzie-Merket Alumni Center for our ring ceremony. This has become a major tradition on our campus. Hopefully it's one that all of you will remember for a long time to come, because we are celebrating your academic achievement at Texas Tech with this ring ceremony. The Student Alumni Board greeted you when you came in and helped you find your location. They play a major role in this. In the future, when you look at your ring, we hope it will bring back many fond memories of Texas Tech. The friends you made, the relationships that you developed. Now I know that not every experience that you had in the last 4 years has been positive, okay? Because there's ups and downs to everybody's college experience. And maybe sometime you had to explain something to your parents. Well, I want to share with you, and apologies to start with to those of you who've been in my public relations class because you've heard the story, but this is a letter that a Texas Tech co-ed wrote to her parents shortly after she had arrived. And she said, "I'm sorry I haven't written any sooner," and that was thoughtless of me, so I want to bring you up to date on what's going on. Well, I'm getting along pretty well. The skull fracture and the concussion I got when I jumped out the window of my residence hall when it caught on fire is pretty well healed. I only spent 2 weeks in the hospital, and I can almost see normally now, and I only get sick headaches once a day. Fortunately, the fire in the residence hall and my jump was witnessed by an attendant at the local gas station. He's the one who called the ambulance and the fire department. He also visited me in the hospital. And since I had nowhere to live because of the residence hall fire, he offered to share his apartment with me. It's really a basement room, but it's kind of cute. He's a very fine boy, and we've fallen deeply in love. And we're going to get married. We haven't set the date yet, but it will be before my pregnancy begins to show. Yes, Mother and Dad, I'm pregnant. I know how much you're looking forward to being grandparents, and I know you'll welcome the baby and give it the same love and tender care that you gave me. I know you'll also welcome my husband into the family with open arms. He's very kind, not well educated, but very ambitious. Now that I brought you up to date, let me tell you, there was no fire. I didn't have a concussion or a skull fracture. I was not in the hospital. I'm not pregnant. I'm not engaged. There is no boyfriend. However, I'm going to make a D in history and an F in chemistry. It's all relative, isn't it? Okay. Once again, on a more serious note, I think that there are many experiences that you've had at Texas Tech that you will long remember, and hopefully this ring will recall some of those. Maybe it was a professor, who caused you to stretch a little bit further than you thought you could. An event like the Carol of Lights this weekend. Game days, weekends on Friday when you came to class and saw Will Rogers dressed in red in anticipation of the game the next day. And for this particular group, last Friday night was probably a fairly special time for most of us. It occurred in Austin, but it's too bad it wasn't here. In 1998, the Student Alumni Board that I mentioned a moment ago did a market study to try to determine if Texas Tech students would embrace a single ring tradition. The results were very positive, and so that group, along with a group from the Student Government Association, sat down and designed the ring that you're going to receive tonight, a ring that will not change. And as I said, we're celebrating your academic achievement. You've earned this ring. You had to accumulate 75 hours at Texas Tech to wear the ring. We suggest that you wear the ring with the double T facing inward. On graduation day, President Skubinik will invite you to take the ring off, turn it around so the double T faces outward, symbolic of the fact that you are a graduate of our university. The National Board of the Alumni Association also wants to give you a free membership for a year in the association. And the President's Office is going to give every graduating senior a free membership in the Alumni Association. So the ring recipients, you will have 2 years. And obviously, what we'd like you to do is continue that membership after the second year expires. We'd like to encourage you to support Texas Tech in every way that you can, wherever you are. In most places, you're going to find a Texas Tech chapter, hopefully so you can get plugged in with that group and participate in their activities. And part of their activity is to support the university in any way possible. Obviously, monetary is not the only way that helps, but it's not the only thing. You can attend college nights and encourage seniors to attend Texas Tech. You can just be positive and put in a good word wherever you go and whatever you do for our university. So we encourage you to be plugged into our Alumni Association, to be plugged into the college that you graduated from, because that's what we are. And you are now one of us. That's our new theme song. You're one of us, and you're going to be one of us from now on. Let me introduce the participants in tonight's ceremony. We're very pleased to have Texas Tech President Lawrence Skubinik. Dr. Skubinik will present you with the ring as you come across the stage. There'll be a photograph made of that. And we'd like to ask that you hold the ring in the box until everyone has received the ring. And we have a reason for that. Chris Sneed, who's the he's vice president of our Alumni Association in charge of facilities, and he will read your name as you come across the stage. Dr. Todd Chambers, who's an associate dean and an associate professor in the College of Media and Communications, is then going to kind of take you on a tour of the ring and point out all the features of the ring and some of the historical significance of those features on the ring. That will come after everyone has received their ring and is regained their seat. The Texas Tech Federal Credit Union is the official sponsor of this event tonight, and there are representatives from the credit union that will present you with a replica class ring paperweight as you leave the stage. So we're very indebted to the support that we receive from the Federal Credit Union. You'll also be asked to sign a roll book that every student who has ever received a ring in these ceremonies has signed as you leave at the end of the table down there. Also on the stage is Zach Williams. Zach Williams is the president of the Texas Tech Saddle Tramps, and his role will be explained by Dr. Chambers. I'd like to introduce to you very briefly our marketing staff that put all this together. If they'd stand when I call their name: Mandy Wiley, who is our Director of Affinity Merchandise; Laura Bixler, our Director of Membership; Christina Butler, Director of Multimedia and Communications; Brett Weingartner, who is the coordinator of marketing, public relations, and membership. He's right there. Savannah Butler, who is the Student Alumni Board president. And then off to the right is Tim Shore. Tim Shore is a graduate of Texas Tech, and he is a representative of the Balfour Company. The Balfour Company manufactured your ring. And Tim will be up here on this part of the stage when the ceremony is over. If you have any concern or any question about the ring, please come talk to him about it. We obviously want you to be 100% satisfied with this ring. We also have Jeff Wood. Jeff is also a Texas Tech graduate. He is also with the Balfour Company, and I understand Jeff was involved in the very first ceremony when we started all of this. So we're glad to have you with us tonight, Jeff. Grad Images will take the photographs. They're also available to take photographs throughout the building after the ceremony is over with. There are also representatives from the student yearbook, the La Ventana, in the foyer, and we would encourage you to talk with them about the purchase of a yearbook. Let me introduce to you Dr. Skuvenik for a few remarks. Dr. Skuvenik is in his third year as president, but he's been at Texas Tech for 33 years. He graduated from Phillips University in Oklahoma, got his master's degree from Texas A&M, and his PhD in math from Indiana. He joined the mathematics and statistics department. He's been a department chairman. He's been the dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. He also, for a time, was interim president, and then he became the chief administrative officer and the provost of our university. And as I say, he's in his third year as president of our university, and we're delighted to have him participate tonight. Dr. Skuvenik.
Thank you, Dr. Dean. It's always a real pleasure and a privilege to be part of this ring ceremony. I'm always impressed every night by how many members of your family and friends are here with you. We have wonderful students at Texas Tech, students of great character, students who are very successful, and I know that they reflect the influence and the support that your family and your friends have provided to get you to this point. Graduating is not a single journey, a journey you travel on your own. You get there with the support of many others. And so I know I speak for these students when I say to you, thank you for the way that you've supported and helped these students get to this point in their career. And for that I say congratulations. Congratulations on what you've already achieved. And that ring is a symbol of that. At the same time, it's also just an indicator of the bigger prize that awaits you. So in a few months, I look forward to shaking your hand as you walk across that stage. This ring is also a public statement, as Dr. Dean has alluded to, that you're part of the Texas Tech family, and that's a very special family. As I travel around and I speak to employers, I speak to Red Raiders, students, you should know that their reputation precedes you. It precedes you in a way that provides a great resource to you, because Red Raiders are known as people who get the job done. They have a tremendous work ethic. They're proud but yet humble. And that's a tremendous asset to you as you go on to your careers beyond this university. The ring is also a statement to your family. If you're one of many who's graduated from Texas Tech, it means you're part of that legacy. Those legacies that make Texas Tech such a special place. If you're the first person in your family to graduate from college or from Texas Tech, I can only imagine how proud they are of you as you get close to graduation. So congratulations on what you've done. Always remember that you're a part, as Dr. Dean said, of a very, very special family. And when you speak of legacies, I should mention that Dr. Dean has been at Texas Tech for 51 years. I imagine there are some in the audience who may have gone through this ceremony and Dr. Dean conducted it. In 20 years, he'll still be doing it. Inside the ring, it says, "Strive for honor evermore." You know, that's more than just a line in our alma mater. It's the way Red Raiders live their lives. If you do that, you'll continue the wonderful legacy of our university, and I know you'll be very successful. So congratulations. I look forward to shaking your hand in a few minutes.
How we doing tonight? How we doing tonight? All right. You ready to get some rings? All right. So students, are you ready? Parents, are you ready? Yeah, they're about to bid off the payroll. Mandy, are you ready? Mr. President, are you ready? Okay. Then let's begin.
All right, ready to go.
Elijah Adair, San Antonio. Gabriel Aguilar, San Antonio. Courtney Alexander, Matador. Aaron Amaya, Lubbock. Joshua Aparicio, Houston. Brandon Archuleta, Santa Fe, New Mexico. Jorge Adiola, Corsicana. Alexandria Bailey, Mertzen. Bethany Ballard, Sadler. Warren Bartley III, Midland. Haley Bates, Lakey. Tiffany Beck, Comfort. Matthew Bell, Edmond, Oklahoma. Brianna Bellamy, Houston. Andrea Beltran, El Paso. Shelby Berger, Houston. Kristen Blaze, Mount Vernon. Allie Bonner, Dripping Springs. Alexandria Bercaglia, Frisco. Clay Braden, Wall. Levi Brandt, Bend, Oregon. Emma Brocato, Austin. Mackenzie Burns, Lubbock. Jake W. Burton, Bulverde. Madeline Busby, Bernie. Shania Bustos, Belleville. Jennifer Campbell, Lufkin. Rachel Campoli, Azle. Greg Carroll, Miami. Stephen Carroll, Miami. Katia Castillo, San Antonio. Miranda Cave, Leakey. Troy Crane, Abilene. Caleb Coleman, Waxahachie. Elise Coleman, Rowlett. Victoria Castilla, Katie. Andrea Covington, Houston. Abby Day, Sugarland. Cindy Deonda, Lubbock. Celeste Delgado, Mesquite. Natalie Dixon, Sugarland. Katie Doyle, Murphy. Haley Dunn, Crowley. Benjamin Duvall, Perryton. Caleb Fabila, Idalou. Just making sure. Hunter Fairbairn, Austin. Caitlin Ferris, Kingwood. Kaysen Florence, Hawley. Aaron Freeberg, Ridgefield, Connecticut. Ashley Frost, Allen. Gwendolyn Fuquay, Katie. Ciara Galindo, Lubbock. Solomon Galindo, San Antonio. Colton Galvan, Lubbock. Joshua Garcia, San Antonio. Courtney Gardner, China Spring. Colton Garza, Lubbock. Marisol Garza, San Antonio. Megan Gibbs, San Antonio. That's impressive. Tristan Giles, Artesia, New Mexico. Carolina Gonzalez, San Antonio. Colin Gonzalez, San Marcos. Marcus Gonzalez, Little Elm. Courtney Gordon, Midland. Kennedy Grubbs, Denton. Victoria Hackney, Missouri City. Megan Hagman, Austin. That's not the way I was going to say that. Katie Halsell, Henrietta. Dylan Hall, Miami. Jacob Hargrove, Bruceville Eddy. Hadley Hatler, Ballinger. Morgan Havelka, Robstown. Michael Hellman, Lubbock. Madison Henry, Waxahachie. Adriana Hernandez, Snyder. Elvis Hernandez, South Houston. Catherine Harrington, Mountain City. Sydney Hicks, Lubbock. Dallas Holston, Stephenville. April Homer, Amarillo. Randall Howard, Lubbock. Elizabeth Hynum, Leander. Taylor Jackson, Baytown. Greg James, Paris. Dustin Jones, Hondo. Alexander Keefe, Fort Worth. Austin Keel, San Antonio. Janice Kiker, Snyder. Alicia King, Lubbock. Alexandra Kobus, Highland Village. Molly Lee, Albany. Is it light?
It's Leach.
Haley Leach, Katie. Kaylee Light, Midland. Sonia Loera, Houston. Bailey Lopez, Haskell. Caitlin Martin, Carrollton. Kanisha Martin, Las Cruces, New Mexico. Caitlin Martinez, Shallowater. Madonna Martinez, Far. Stephanie Martinez, Houston. Catherine McCauley, Bridgeport. Christopher McQuistion, Gainesville. Ashley Mister, Mansfield. Sierra Melendez, Amarillo. Sarah Melendez, Big Spring. Mark Milholland, Houston. Jennifer Miranda, Houston. You just told me. Mizell. That's right. Logan Mizell, Huntsville. Kaylin Morrison, Miami. Sarah Moses, Pearsall. Veronica Mullen, Lubbock. Demi Mazer, Houston. Lindsay Nelson, Plano. Myra Mata, McKinney. Kaylin Newdorf, Hart. Hi Newbie, Amarillo. Kayla Wynn, Houston. Julia Nichols, Austin. Griffin Novak, Guyman, Oklahoma. Jackson Nusser, Spring. Henry Oliver, Lubbock. Alyssa Owen, Canyon. Jacob Owen, Houston. Victoria Patterson, Goldthwaite. Crystal Perez, Fort Stockton. Tori Perkins, Lavernia. Vanessa Ponce, Bryan. Lorena Posadas, Lubbock. Colton Pouncey, San Antonio. William Powell, Austin. A member of our Student Alumni Board, Sarah Priest from Hatch, New Mexico. Rebecca Rayco, Rockwall. Rosangelica Ramirez, Irving. Clay Ramos, San Antonio. Riley Randolph, Sundown. Isaac Reyes, Lovington, New Mexico. Madeline Rigler, Benicia, California. Matthew Robinson, Lubbock. Dory Rodriguez. Where are you from, Dory? La Mesa. Nancy Rodriguez, Haltom City. Tristan Rowland, Garland. All right, hang on just a second, guys. Lucia Salayandia, El Paso. Victoria Schock, Bernie. Chelsea Sherman, Spring. Keely Sears, Weatherford. Skylar Sino, Concord, California. Garrett Self, San Angelo. Julia Setliff, Lubbock. Danielle Sharp, Colleyville. Kelly Sharp, Houston. McLean Schultz, Meeker, Colorado. Manuel Silva, Lubbock. He's all our brothers. Andrew Skipton, Dripping Springs. All right, so every once in a while doing this, we get a very special moment, and right now, this is one of those moments. So tonight, we have Rachel Sosby from Campbell. And come on up, her father, Steve Sosby, also from Campbell, class of 1991. So the backstory is, he did not know he was getting a ring tonight. They just told him as he was walking in the door. How cool is that? And now this guy here, Banner Steele. Banner Steele, Austin, Texas. We love Banner. Annie Steffi, The Woodlands. Jesse Stewart, Louisville. Jimmy Suleika, San Antonio. Tori Thompson, Rockwall. You going to Madeline?
Madeline.
That's what I thought. Madeline Thornley, Flower Mound. Shelby Tucker, Waxahachie. Maria Valdez, Monterrey, Mexico. Michael Villarreal, San Antonio. Cassie Waller, Clovis, New Mexico. Mara Walls, Ingram. McKenna Watkins, Corsicana. Evan Watson, Pflugerville. Hang with me, guys. Gertrude Nakaketo, Masaka, Uganda. Megan Wilson, Arlington. Alec Winfrey, Seminole. Braden Gwynn, Seymour. Kaylee Yetz, Dallas. Ryan Zients, Hondo. Ryan Timmons, Midland. Jalissa Williams, Livingston. Jordan Pena, Odessa. Tate Smith, Amarillo. Did we miss anyone? Everyone that came to get a ring got a ring tonight, correct? I want to thank you. It is an honor to read your names tonight. Thank you and congratulations.
We're full of surprises tonight. I have another one. As I mentioned earlier, President Skubinik has dedicated his entire professional career to this university. He came here in 1982 as a faculty member, as I said, in mathematics and statistics. And in his 33 years, we believe that he has displayed a servant's heart and has always been willing to do what is needed to be done to make this university grow. President Skubinik has received numerous awards and recognition over the years. He's a widely published author with works appearing in many academic journals. During his time as provost, he helped strengthen Texas Tech's position as a national Tier 1 research university. And he's continued to elevate Texas Tech to new heights as president with his vision. Well known and well thought of. From the standpoint of the Alumni Association, we could not ask for a stronger advocate for our alumni. And it's a pleasure to work with him. And on behalf of the Alumni Association, we'd like to thank Dr. Skubinik for his continued passion for Texas Tech, his support of our Alumni Association and all of our alumni. We want to thank him for his participation in this ceremony. This is the third. There's a fourth one tomorrow night. He's been here for all of them, both fall and spring, and his continued support of the presidential partnership that gives each graduate of Texas Tech a membership in the Alumni Association. So Dr. Skubinik, we think you truly understand the importance of maintaining a lifelong connection between alumni and Texas Tech. We're proud to say that you are one of us, and it's my honor to present you with an official Texas Tech class ring.
If you will allow me. If you will allow me. If you will allow me. Dr. Lawrence Skubinik, Lubbock, Texas.
How do you follow that? Welcome to the ring ceremony. And it is definitely a privilege to be here because this is a very special moment in the semester. And there's nothing quite like when the president of the university leans over before everything gets started and said, I hope you can live up to what last night's speaker did. So I'm kind of a little nervous, so pardon me for that. No, but congratulations and welcome again to the official ring ceremony of Texas Tech University. The official class ring symbolizes a significant achievement in your academic career here at Texas Tech University. And I want to congratulate each one of you on this accomplishment. But before we do that, before we go any further, Red Raiders, fellow Red Raiders, would y'all mind giving a round of applause to your friends and family that are here to support you? And given some of the applause and the hooping and hollering that we heard, man, it's pretty cool. That's one of my favorite things about tonight is to hear family and friends and brothers and sisters yell out from all these different places. I mean, just think about some of the cool cities and locations that you heard tonight. Paris, Miami, right? Is that right? And Uganda and Bend, Oregon, and just some amazing places. And that's a testament to our Red Raider family that continues to grow. And tonight, I hope you all sort of cherish this moment because you are Red Raiders. And you can see that we are bearing our banners far and wide. Now, at this time, this is the time that you've come here for. I'd like for you to open your boxes and take out those rings, but don't put them on, okay? So President's giving it, don't put yours on. Just hold them right in your hands. And what I'm here to do tonight is to take you on just a little journey. And it's a tour of the iconic symbols that are all around this very special ring. Now, guests, you can use your program that you have received tonight, and you can follow along with this journey around the ring. So, think back to that first time that you even heard about Texas Tech University. Y'all remember that? You remember that? Perhaps it was maybe a parent. Might have been a relative. May have been a high school counselor. Maybe it was someone else who attended this fantastic university here. Maybe it was on TV, like Friday night, watching 2 in a row down in Austin. Or maybe it was when you were just surfing the web, just trying to figure out where life was going to take you next. And you might have seen a college catalog somewhere. You probably looked at dozens of universities, but one stood out. One stood out. The one with the scarlet and black. The one with the double T. Now, I grew up on a farm about 50 miles from here, okay? I graduated from high school in Brownfield, Texas, but I grew up on a cotton farm, and neither one of my parents went to college. It's interesting that my mom's parents did go to college, but my dad's parents didn't go to college, but they always encouraged me, and I always grew up kind of in the shadow of the double T. And I kind of always knew it in my heart of hearts that I'd come and be a Red Raider, and I did. I came here in 1984, and I was a journalism graduate. I actually had Dr. Dean in class. And now I get, it's my pleasure and privilege actually to get to teach with this man that I always looked up to. And I was kind of terrified. If you ever had him in a class, I remember coming over to this location. It didn't look like this, but I remember he was my advisor my freshman year, and it was kind of intimidating, but he's a nice guy. But, you know, I was thinking about that. I was like, you know, I was talking to someone today earlier about I was coming to this very special ring ceremony tonight, and we were just talking about how that I always kind of knew that I'd come to Texas Tech, but I'm so glad that I did because I've had a lifetime of wonderful memories. So the cool thing, I did my undergrad here, graduated in 1988, started working on a master's degree, finally got that finished in 1994. Then I moved away. And in 1999, had the opportunity, after I did graduate work there at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville, had the opportunity to come back to Lubbock, Texas, and join the staff here at Texas Tech University. So you can safely say that I've spent most of my adult life at Texas Tech. So this is a very special place for me. But I didn't have anything like this. I didn't have a ring ceremony. You heard Dr. Dean talk about it was in 1998 that the student, their alumni board decided to put into this wonderful event, this tradition of our rings. And so you're experiencing something very special, and so I am very jealous of you. Now tonight, though, I do have kind of a special opportunity because my granddad, I told you that had some grandparents that graduated from here. My granddad graduated in 1971 from Texas Tech University. And my grandmother, after my granddad passed away, gave me his Texas Tech class ring. And so tonight, we're going to take a journey. What's so cool about this? Reading along what is on your rings, they're on his ring. Legacy. You heard the president, you heard Dr. Dean talk about that. And it is part of our Red Raider legacy. So tonight, I would like for you to look at the top of your ring. Okay? You know, whether you have a traditional ring or a signet ring, the iconic double T sits prominently on top. There is no other symbol more associated with Texas Tech than that double T. Although no one has ever claimed credit for the design, historic documents date the first appearance back to 1926 when it showed up on some sweaters made for the football team. The double T represents the foundation of our university as Texas Technological College, as well as the university we have grown to become. Inscribed around the raised double T is our official name, Texas Tech University, with 2 separate stars and the date of foundation, 1923. It was then when the Texas legislature decided that rather than a branch campus of Texas A&M University, an entirely new university would better serve the needs of the West Texas region. So on February 10th, 1923, Texas Governor Pat Neff signed the legislation that created Texas Technological College, and in July of that year, a committee, they began searching for a location for the school. So when the members of the committee visited Lubbock, they were overwhelmed to find residents lining the streets to show support for the idea of hosting this institution. That August, Lubbock was chosen on the very first ballot over some other area towns, including, Floydada, Plainview, and Sweetwater. Now, as you turn your rings to the left, our journey around campus begins. Now, picture yourself standing right there at the Broadway entrance. I think we all know that Broadway entrance, right? And you just come in from university, you turn, and you see that large granite university seal that was designed in 1924. Now, the campus master planner at that time was William Ward Watkin, and he was the one that designed that seal. That's the same seal that you're going to find engraved on your ring. This seal first appeared on Texas Tech diplomas in 1948, but was not officially approved as the seal of this university until 1953. Now let's examine that up close. President Horn, who was truly a visionary when it came to our foundation in early years, selected 5 different symbols inside the seal, which he believed were the 5 great institutions of a democracy. Now in the upper left quadrant on the shield is a book. That represents church. In the lower left quadrant is a key, symbolizing home. In the upper right quadrant is the star, that's the symbol for state. And in the lower right quadrant is the lamp of learning, representing school. Now these elements are separated by 10 cotton bolls, representing industry, as well as Lubbock and its surrounding 9 cotton-producing counties. Now sitting on top is an American eagle, which is our national bird. The shield is surrounded by the inscription, Texas Tech University, Lubbock. Now then, let's go down our journey now. Now walk with me down to Amon G. Carter Plaza, past the fountains. And tonight, and hopefully some of you, family and friends, will be able to stay for Friday night. If you haven't before, you'll be part of the Carol of Lights. But as you're walking down the plaza, guess what's there? There's a big, giant Christmas tree, right? Now, if you go past the statue of Will Rogers and soap suds, and we know that they're always wrapped in red on game days, and into the center of campus there at Memorial Circle. Now turn your, so just think about it, you're at Memorial Circle. Now turn your rings to the right. Imagine turning to the right to look north. You can see down the engineering key, right? And what do you see in the distance? Jones AT&T Stadium. You remember that first game you went to? You remember the excitement that you felt? Standing outside first, waiting to get into that student gate so you can get that cool seat right down there by the field. You remember the first time that you saw the masked rider? When they led the team out onto the field? It doesn't matter how many times you see that, it is still one of the most dramatic entrances for college football. No question whatsoever. In fact, every time I go to a football game at home, I always take a video on my phone, and so I have to delete sometimes because I run out of room. But it is such a cool thing. Now, on the right side of your ring, you will see an image of this beloved mascot. That symbol is no stranger to you, but perhaps you aren't aware of its history. In 1936, the same year, Arch Lamb founded the Saddle Traps as a male spirit organization. A ghost rider appeared at the beginning of a home football game with the Arizona State Lumberjacks. Resplendent in a scarlet and black cape and mask, the rider circled the field at the start of the game on a palomino and then galloped off to the amazement of the crowd. It wasn't until 1954, in Tech's appearance in the Gator Bowl, that Joe Kurt Fulton, with red cape and mask, rode a borrowed black horse onto the Gator Bowl stadium floor to the utter astonishment of the crowd. The football team was evidently inspired by this masked rider, as Texas Tech went on to pummel Auburn 35-13. And so the tradition was fixed. To this day, Texas Tech retains the scarlet and black caped masked rider on a black horse. Now, we've seen that. Use your imaginations. Turn with me now to face the administration building. So we're in Memorial Circle. We just saw the football stadium. We're turning this way. One of the first structures built on campus more than 9 decades ago, the building was architecturally designed in the Spanish Renaissance style with ornate carvings, archways, and a Spanish tile roof. One of the main features of this building is its twin bell towers. The one on the west that houses the Caroline bells that you hear ringing out musical melodies, and then the one on the east that houses the 2 victory bells. If you look behind the masked rider on your ring, you will see the engraving of the East Bell Tower. The victory bells, which together weigh 1,200 pounds, were first rung in 1936 after a win over TCU. The Saddle Tramps and High Riders, part of our campus spirit organizations, continue to ring those victory bells after athletic wins and other momentous occasions, such as today's ring ceremony. And in fact, tonight we have with us Saddle Tramp Zach Williams. Mr. Williams is a civil engineering major as of today, right, Zach? And guess where he's headed? He is headed over to ring the victory bells for each of you today receiving a ring. Thank you, Zach. So I'm going to hurry up so we can get outside to hear those rings, all right? Now, look with me now to the inside of your rings. There you're going to find the words, strive for honor. This inscription from the Matador song, it serves as a charge to every single Texas Tech graduate to excel with integrity in all endeavors. Below that, you're going to find your personalized inscription that is unique only to your ring. This inscription is your identifier, and if for any reason your ring is ever lost, the honest finder can return it to you by contacting the Alumni Association or the Balfour Company. So to the bottom of the ring, you turn it over, it's very easy. Double T's tied with a decorative band. So now that we've taken you on a geographical and historical tour of your ring, hopefully it's even more meaningful to you now that you know all about its symbols. And when you really think about it, this ring really encapsulates Texas Tech. It's always going to remind you of 238 Murdo Hall. That was my dorm room. It's always going to remind you of those football games, those wonderful basketball games. It's always going to have something special to you. Because now then, you're always going to know what it reminds you of what being a Red Raider means. It's also a course assigned to others of your academic accomplishment and the pride you have in your alma mater. As you travel around Lubbock, across the state, the country, or around the world, your ring will serve as a symbol of honor. use your ring to bear your banner proudly. Now, you may now put on your rings. Now remember, the double T will face you until graduation day, when President Skubanek, he'll also take off his ring and turn it the other way, will ask you to turn your ring so the double T faces outward. It is my privilege to be here tonight to congratulate Red Raiders on your rings. Congratulations.
I'd like to ask the members of our Student Alumni Board to come join me on the stage for a moment. These students put this together tonight, worked very hard. Let's give them a hand. Now I'd invite everyone to stand as we conclude our service with the Matador song.